Hey everyone, it's Will from the Bulwark. So we're going into the holiday season, and we have a lot to be thankful for. But we've also got to prepare for what's ahead. Jack Smith, the special counsel who investigated Donald Trump and secured indictments from 2 grand juries, has folded up shop because he's not allowed to prosecute a sitting president, which is what Trump, once again, will now be. The same thing is happening in New York, where Trump was already convicted of 34 felonies. Justice has come to a halt. And when Trump takes office, he will almost certainly bury, at the federal level, what remains of the evidence against him. Republicans are claiming, falsely, that Trump has been exonerated, and he's still claiming that the last election was stolen from him. We are about to face at least 4 years of unrelenting lies. They're going to look you in the eye and tell you that what happened did not happen. So today, I want to show you something, and I want you to remember it when they try to gaslight you. I'm going to show you one of the many fake stories Trump has told. But the reason I want to show you this story is because this time we have video of something that usually happens only in private. You're going to see Trump on camera in a one-on-one conversation as he's presented with clear evidence that his story is false. And you're going to see him dismiss the evidence and go right on with his story. The sequence I want to show you starts in 2018, 6 years ago, when Trump signed the First Step Act, a bill to reform the criminal justice system. One of the people who lobbied Trump to sign that law was Van Jones, a longtime Democrat and a commentator for CNN. Here's a video clip from the signing ceremony. The person who's speaking in the video is Van Jones. He's just been introduced by Trump, and he's speaking to Trump with words of praise.
The freedom of people who are trapped in a broken system, the freedom of people who are trapped in addiction, the freedom of people who are trapped in poverty. Those are the people that your opportunity zones are targeted at, your opioid policy is targeted at, and your criminal justice policy is targeted at. And when you're trying to help people on the bottom, sir, I will work with or against any Democrat, with or against any Republican, because there is nothing more important than freedom. So thank you, sir.
Okay, so just to lay down some basic facts, you heard Jones thank Trump, and then you saw Trump thank Jones for his words of praise. And then after the ceremony, Jones went on CNN and applauded Trump again. Here's what he said about Trump's critics on the left.
And they said it would never happen, you'll never get there, Trump's going to sell you down the river, nobody's going to cooperate, and it was the opposite. We got 87 votes to 12 in the Senate.
And Jones also defended Trump on a left-wing TV show called Democracy Now! Watch.
You know, Trump is just doing this because he's going to go to jail or whatever. Look, Trump could just pardon all his family members right now and be done with it and just walk off. Good things can happen even under the Trump administration. Let's not let the cynicism take that away.
Okay, so all of that was in December of 2018. Fast forward a year to September 2019. Jones was on CNN again, and this time he was even more vocal in his defense of Trump.
Trump really did expend real political capital to get the First Step Act passed. I mean, he shocked a lot of people. He was willing to publicly challenge Mitch McConnell. He really did.
And look what happened. He got what he wanted.
And he got what he wanted. So I'm saying there is a pathway here. I think Trump has gotten too little credit for what he did on criminal justice reform.
Now, that was September 12th, 2019. 3 weeks later, on October 4th, 2019, Trump spoke at the White House. And he accused Jones of failing to give him credit for criminal justice reform. Check it out.
Then about 3 weeks ago, I saw him on television. I don't watch your show too much. Neither do too many. But I'm watching him. And he gets up and he goes, I want to thank a number of people because we did something this year that was undoable, They said it couldn't be done. We passed criminal justice reform.
Remember, Trump said this statement by Jones happened 3 weeks earlier, which would be right around the time that Jones, on television, specifically credited Trump again for getting the bill through Congress. But here's how Trump described what Jones said.
Here's Van Jones. Van Jones, I want to thank Al Sharpton. I want to thank all of these name people I never heard of. Right. The only one he didn't mention was me. And I kept waiting. And then he named a lot of people. That was the end. I said, I was a little embarrassed in front of my wife. I said, he didn't name me. I'm the one that did it.
So Trump's account of what Jones said was completely at odds with what Jones actually said. But Jones, to his credit, did not retaliate. A year later, in October 2020, he spoke up for Trump again.
Donald Trump, and I get beat up by liberals every time I say this, I'm going to keep saying it. He has done good stuff for the black community, opportunity zone stuff, black college stuff. I work with him on criminal justice stuff. I saw Donald Trump have African-American people formerly incarcerated in the White House, embraced them, treated them well. There's a side to Donald Trump that I think he does not get enough credit for.
All the way through, despite their many disagreements, Jones has continued to praise Trump for passing criminal justice reform. For example, here's an interview Jones did last year with Politico. In the interview, he said, quote, "Kindness can win. Human beings who vote against each other can still find a way to work with each other to help people who really need it. I've seen it," said Jones, all the way to the Trump White House. But instead of acknowledging these generous words, Trump escalated his false accusations against Jones. 3 months ago, Trump posted a message on Truth Social. He called Jones a lowlife and complained that Jones, quote, "never once called to thank me for getting the criminal justice bill through the Senate." And then, a month ago, on a podcast, Trump added a new wrinkle to the story. He claimed that in 2018, on the night of the bill signing, Jones held a news conference and deliberately slighted him. Here's what Trump told the host of the podcast, Patrick Bet-David.
Van Jones and all, they called for a news conference that night. He got up, he thanked this one, he thanked that one, he thanked this one, that one. The only one he didn't thank was Donald Trump. And I look at that sleazebag now.
Now, to begin with, this never happened. Jones did not, in fact, hold a press conference that night, nor did he participate in any event that matches Trump's description. And remember, 5 years earlier, Trump was claiming that these comments from Jones happened on a TV show in 2019, not when the bill was signed. So Trump's story about a press conference is a total fabrication. But that's not why I wanted to show you the interview with Bet-David. The reason I wanted to show you the interview is what happened next. Bet-David, who supports Trump, remembered that in fact Jones had praised and thanked Trump. Watch.
Why do I think he praised you? Why do I think he got emotional crying, giving you credit about what you did?
I don't know. All I can tell you is he was crying in my office. That's probably what you heard.
So that's how Trump reacted. He blew it off. He said, no, apart from the signing ceremony, Jones never praised him or gave him credit. But then Trump got a surprise. Bet-David showed him a video clip of Jones on the day the Senate passed the bill, praising Trump for getting the bill through Congress.
This is what Van Jones said after what you did. And it was the most uncomfortable moment on CNN because he had to thank you. If you can play this clip, Rob.
Just 1 second before we look at that clip. Listen closely at the end, and you'll hear Trump's reaction. Here's the clip.
I want to say Hakeem Jeffries on the left, Jared Kushner, and Donald Trump on the right have brought together a coalition like I've never seen.
He gave
He's
you
got
credit.
literally
Right.
The National Association of Manufacturers, Fox News,
never saw
and
that
Sean
one.
Hannity
Yeah, I'm
on
glad
the
you're
same
seeing it
page with
because
Nancy
to me,
Did you hear Trump's voice at the end? His reaction was, I never saw that. Trump was surprised. This was video evidence, right in his face, shown to him by a friend, proving that in fact Jones had given Trump praise and credit for passing the bill. But within 30 seconds of seeing that clip, Trump was already writing it off. Here's how the conversation with Bet David continued. Again, this is less than 30 seconds after Trump saw that clip.
but it was kind of great to see Van Jones saying this about you.
It was, but again, right after that, it was over.
He has to go back.
So
he has to go
went
back to say things
and
about you.
a real man would not have done that. And I'm glad I saw that, but it really doesn't mean anything because he said it, and then after that, he took it back.
I want to.
No, actually, Jones never took it back. He did oppose Trump in this year's election, but he never took back the credit he gave Trump for passing criminal justice reform. What Trump said there about Jones taking it back was just another lie. But what's truly impressive, what makes Trump a genuine psychopath, is what happened a couple of weeks after that interview. On November 4th, a day before the election, Trump held a rally in North Carolina, and he repeated his fabricated story about a press conference on the night of the bill signing.
So we sat down and we were watching the news conference open, and Van Jones was introducing everybody that I never heard of any of them. I want to thank this one. I want to thank that one. He went through so many names, and he never mentioned my names. He never mentioned my name, and every time I see that guy, not that I needed it, I get enough publicity. But can you imagine that? And then they wonder about why you don't bring people together. Van Jones went through so many names that night. They were up on the stage with him. And it was only done because of a guy named Donald J. Trump. And I just thought, I haven't related that story.
You can hear Trump adding more lies to the story as he goes along. Now he's got people on an imaginary stage. He's got Jones doing introductions. And he says he's never told this story before, a story that you just heard him tell a couple of weeks earlier. But the core of the story, again, is that Jones never mentioned him and never thanked him for the bill. And this is less than 3 weeks after Trump was shown a video clip of Jones doing exactly that. You saw it with your own eyes, and you heard Trump say, I never saw that. This is what happens with Trump over and over and over again. The people around him tell him, and they show him evidence that what he is saying is not true. And he goes right on saying it. It's so outlandish that you almost can't believe he's that impervious. And that's why I wanted to show you this story. Because this time, you can actually see it happen. You can see the evidence hit him in the face and bounce right off him. He's either a pathological liar or he's extremely mentally ill. There are no other options. And in less than 2 months, he's going to be our president again. See you next time.